Warning, once again, viewer discretion is advised, and this video is based on, I will not be saying that word, so just know that it is implied. It is hard to believe, but the age has gotten even younger if you've seen my videos a day ago before. There are two cases, some of, again, I will not say the S word. I would like to share them with you, and I would like to know what you think. The first case is Samantha Kuberski. She was 6 years old out of McMinnville, Oregon. Was it an accident or was it intentional is what we are all left wondering. Samantha did well in school. She was a first grader. In all my videos in the past, I've discussed before that there was bullying, but in Samantha's case, there was no bullying. She hadn't suffered any kind of recent traumas, and she was excited about turning 7 years old in a few days. I mean, what child isn't? Also remember, it's December 1st around this time. So Christmas is coming. I don't know if this family celebrated Christmas, but it's coming, and a lot of kids do get excited about that. If they don't celebrate Christmas, being out of school. So it's a happy time for a young person. Samantha was being chastised by her mother, and she was told to go to her room. On the way out, Samantha would yell, "I'm going to kill myself." And she just goes on to her bedroom. Her mother stayed, remaining in another part of the house with her other 3 siblings, and Samantha headed to her room for the timeout. I can't describe how she did it, but Samantha got inside a crib that no longer was being used, and the mattress had been removed, and she would grab a child's belt. Samantha passed away on December 2nd, 2009. It's hard to believe a 6-year-old can form that kind of intent, but the more and more I research these stories, I am still baffled. Child psychologists have said this is possible. A child can have this type of intent, but they were not speaking on Samantha's case. Samantha's parents had warned their children, do not use belts around your neck. They used to play around and pretend that they were dogs and the belts were used as leashes. So the children understood that they should not and cannot do this, that it was harmful. The parents had declined a lot of interviews that I read, and there is little information on this case. The one picture with different angles is the only picture that I found of Samantha. So was it an S or was it intentional? What do you think? Kendrea Johnson, 6 years old out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Kendrea at 6 had been going through a lot. She had been in foster care at this time. Her foster homes had been reported for neglect, but not investigated. Kendrea was showing signs of mental illness, but she'd be punished for those and sent to her room. Perhaps, or more than likely, her foster care families didn't know these signs. They weren't used to these signs. A lot of people aren't educated on the signs of mental illness. Unless you are in that health field, the mental health field, unless you know somebody that has struggled with certain signs, then you may not know. You might just think that that child or person is just being bad. When we see people that are showing behaviors, we say, oh, they're crazy, or they're nuts, they're insane. What's wrong with that person? But we can't actually medically say what that is. So the 6-year-old would go inside her bedroom, and she would get a jump rope, and she'd be found unconscious by her bunk bed. There was a simple note that said, "I'm sorry." She actually wrote that note, "I'm sorry." The 6-year-old was rushed to the hospital, and there she was pronounced dead. Prior to this, all the records that acknowledged that Kendrea had homicidal and S thoughts. In school, she had drawn pictures of her jumping out of windows and pictures from her tied to things. In 2017, Kendrea was taken from her mother, who was accused of drug abuse and failing to use a protection plan that they had provided for her to follow, and she didn't, so they removed Kendrea out of her home. The records say Kendrea felt severe guilt of being displaced from her home and that she was showing signs of post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of military people suffer from that. Did parting from her mother cause this big strain onto this little child? Kendrea would have those thoughts every single day that they said. She would always say that she was going to, but never did. On December 27th, right after Christmas, remember this is supposed to be happy times in these children's lives, Kendrea was in a good mood. At least within the last few hours she was. She actually got a second plate of dinner, and around 8 p.m. she headed up to her room to watch TV. She was looked in on, and she was still sitting there watching TV. She was doing fine. 10 minutes later, she was looked in on again, and now she is unconscious. All I can keep saying is talk to your children. Be in their lives every step of the way. Get professional advice if you need to. My condolences to Samantha's and Kendrea's family. This consistently just keeps happening. It keeps happening, and it's so many of them. It's so many of them. I done the very young people, so now it's been ages 6 through 10 years old that have done this. My next two videos will feature the teens, the young teens under 18 years old. And then I will be done with this kind of video because it's heartbreaking. But I'm hoping that there's awareness to this, because even I was in the dark about a lot of this. Like, oh my goodness, that they're really doing this. You know, we try to think that children were raised like us, even though we're raising our children like us. And if we didn't do that, why are they doing that? Please like and share this video. If you don't like and share anything else, please bring awareness to this, especially if you know people with young children, or if you yourself have young children. Leave in the comments, give advice. I don't know any other way. I can put the hotline numbers after the video. They're easy to just Google. I mean, I don't know what else. This is so tragic, and it's so sad.